Aloha, I am Mary from Wisdom AI. I teach you about AI, things that are new, things that I like, things that I am more skeptical of. I have a PhD in ecology and have spent 6 years in the workplace developing AI systems and teaching other people about them. So I'm a new channel. If you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe so that you get notifications when I post. I try to do something at least twice a week on this channel. So today I'm going to talk about another fantastic use of AI, and it's dream interpretation. We all know that our dreams are our pathway to our own subconscious. And, when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, you would have to check out all these books from the library and try to learn what every single symbol could mean. And already dreams are just, they're so cryptic and they're so fleeting. And it's really hard to have any idea what they're telling you. So I'm going to use an example of the dream I had last night. Some people will say, oh, I don't dream. And let me just recommend a couple things for that. All of my speeches have timestamps in the description. So if you just want to cut to the chase, go ahead and do that. So one thing I found that really improves the amount that I dream and that I remember my dreams is the quality of my sleep. So I have a whole speech on my other channel. My other channel is called Coffee, Connection, and Crystals, where I read tarot cards for people going through difficult legal situations. I have a whole speech on there on sobriety versus drinking, because drinking is easy to do when you're going through difficult legal situations. But one thing I've really noticed through that journey of drinking versus not drinking, and through this really cool thing I have, it's called a Whoop strap, and it's like a $30 a month subscription, and it really measures the quality of your sleep and your sleep stress and how recovered you get after a night's sleep. Is that if you don't drink, well, if I don't drink, then I sleep way better and I tend to remember my dreams way more. But even if you don't remember your dreams particularly well, what you can do is just right when you wake up, get your phone, use your Apple Watch, whatever you're going to use, and narrate your dream into your phone. Just everything you can remember. And I'll read you mine at the end of this. I'm going to read you the interpretation first, and then you can see what it pulled out of this completely random dream. And so, yeah, I narrate everything I can remember into my phone. I hit copy, and then I upload into Gemini, and I say, pretend that you're a dream interpreter and interpret this dream. And so I'm going to read you what it came up with this morning, which I think is spot on, tends to be spot on. I have to use glasses to read my computer because, well, I'm old and blind. Okay, as your dream interpreter, I see this as a classic transition dream. It beautifully captures the friction between your technical expertise as a biologist and artist and your spiritual/altruistic aspirations, the tarot card reader conservationist. Since you are retiring in real life, your brain is, quote, stress testing your new identity. Here's an interpretation of the key symbols and themes in your dream. The AI friction, control versus vision. Using AI to draft your vision, only to find it, quote, zoomed out or too realistic, suggests the fear of losing a personal touch. The interpretation. You are worried that in this next chapter, you might rely too much on, quote, systems or tools rather than your own proven skills. The fact that you felt you could, quote, draw it better yourself is a nudge from your subconscious that your artistic and biological background is already sufficient. You don't need a middleman, the AI, to validate your vision. The skeptic, I do need it to interpret the dream, which you'll see when I read you what the dream was. The skeptical counselor navigating your identity. The encounter with the Black doctor career counselor who accused you of being colorblind is a powerful moment of internal conflict. The interpretation. This likely represents your own inner critic or a shadow fear. Because you are a biologist wanting to start a business in Africa, a continent with a complex colonial history, your quote, hyper awareness of racial issues is manifesting as a fear of being misunderstood or judged. The counselor's skepticism reflects your own anxiety about whether you have the quote right to enter this space or if you are prepared for the social realities of international conservation. Number 3, the tarot and the unruly cloth. You are confident in tarot, but the cloth won't stay folded. The interpretation. The cloth represents the structure of your new life. You have the cards, the talent, the knowledge, but you are struggling to wrap them up into a neat, portable business or lifestyle. It suggests that while the skill is there, the logistics of retirement and career shifting feels slippery and hard to contain. The mushroom and the lion, mastery and ego. This is the most surreal and telling part of the dream. Being asked to cut a mushroom to make shorts for a lion is an absurd low-level task. The interpretation, the mushroom. You are asserting your competence. By refusing to cut the mushroom, you are saying, I am done with busy work. You are retiring from the mundane. The lion. Lions represent leadership and the wild side of your Africa project. Giving the task to someone else shows you are ready to move into a role of mentorship or high-level strategy rather than entry-level labor. You know what you know, and you don't feel the need to prove the basics anymore. Summary of the dream message. Your dream is telling that you are over-planning and under-trusting. The reason you never actually made it to Africa in the dream is that you are currently stuck in the quote pamphlet phase, worrying about how the world perceives your brand or your optics, the AI images, and the counselor's judgment. The takeaway, you already have the biologist's brain and the artist's eye. The dream suggests that the planning, the AI, and the brochures is actually what's causing the stress. Your subconscious is telling you to stop trying to fold the cloth perfectly and just go be with the elephants. And then it asked me if I wanted to explore more. But this is what it pulled out of literally, this is what I uploaded. And this is why I think it's absolutely amazing and everybody should be using it, because your own subconscious is already giving you messages that help you figure out your path forward and all these things. I uploaded, pretend that you are a dream interpreter and interpret this dream. I was retiring, which I am, and going through a major life and career change. The things that I decided I wanted to do is become a tarot reader and lead trips to do elephant conservation in Africa. So I spent a lot of time on the Africa thing because I'm already good at tarot and I can do that. But even though I'm a biologist, I've never been in Africa and I wouldn't know the first thing about starting an elephant conservation like ecotourism business. So I was using AI to research and draft my materials for me, and I was having a hard time doing it because I wanted to draw like a picture of the pamphlet materials, and it definitely wasn't doing exactly what I had envisioned at the first pass. Like it was almost like I would have had an easier time drawing it myself. Like the camera was way too zoomed out for the image I wanted, and it wasn't doing the elephants right. I just wanted black and white silhouette of elephants, but it was giving me a more like a realistic picture of the elephants. And I was having it draft my text for the online pamphlet website. It wasn't doing that exactly correctly either. And then I went to go see a doctor who was also in this role of like being a career counselor, and she was Black, and she was very skeptical of what I was doing. And she was kind of projecting on me, like she projected that I said I was colorblind in my decisions. And even though I tried to counter that, if anything, I don't think I'm colorblind, I'm a little bit hyper aware of racial issues, she doesn't she isn't really listening to me. And then I went to this almost like a school, or it was like a way to kind of help you transition careers. And I'm also an artist. So I was there trying to do art, but trying to use AI to do the art. And it was really imperfect. Like I had my tarot cards and I was good at those, but even though I was having trouble like folding up the cloth the right way to carry them, and I would fold it all these ways and they would kind of fall out and I'd have to do it again. And then there were other people who were also going through similar career transitions, and I interacted with them, and that wasn't perfect or easy either. And then one of the teachers asked me to be the one to cut up a mushroom to make shorts for a lion. And I was like, no, I can already cut a mushroom. That's no big deal. And this other guy really wanted to do it. So I said, hey, do you care? Like, let him do it. He wants to do it. I don't really want to do it. And the teacher reluctantly agreed. And the guy who got to cut the mushroom was grateful. And I told the teacher, look, I already know how to cut a mushroom. And I can just go outside and do that. I don't need to learn that. I don't remember what else. But I do not know that no part of the dream that I actually got to spend any time with elephants in Africa. It was more thinking and planning these things. So, out of a completely bizarre and random dream, it pulled this totally accurate meaning that helps me understand what's going on in my subconscious mind and use that for my own benefit. AI, dream interpreter, try it. Let me know in the comments how it goes for you. Mahalo nui loa, like, share, and subscribe if you like my channel. And I'd love to create more content. If you have ideas for content, since I only have 8 subscribers right now, you have a very good chance of getting covered if you put something in the comments. Mahalo nui loa.